It's the E Square Podcast.
Welcome to the E Square Podcast. I'm Easy Mo, and today we got the legend, the Las Vegas legend, certified stamp. It's no up for no debate, man. Two-Tone, what's good, bro?
What's good with you, brody?
How you feeling, man?
It's good to finally be here, man.
So good to finally be here, bro.
I see you putting on for the city in a big way, man.
Thank you, man. I'm trying to, it's kind of weird. I'm kind of like, I come in here and I talk to, the people I've always wanted to talk to, and I'm kind of like letting it take on a life of its own.
I can definitely relate.
You feel me? Yeah, you can relate too, because I'm sure I don't know if being a legend was ever in your plans.
Nah, man, it was just doing the music, man. I love doing it for me.
Exactly. Yeah. Do you think of yourself as a legend, or do you I'm sure people tell you that all the time, but
it doesn't resonate with me like that yet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know that in contrast to other people or other places, I seem to do more or something they like a little bit better.
Yeah.
A lot of the times.
Yeah.
Over the years, it's happened a lot of times to where it's hard to find competition back then.
Yeah.
Nowadays, kids done grown up, man. So but that's what you always wanted. I mean, it wasn't the plan to I'm gonna make everybody golden and engineers and rappers and these artists, but the same way I got it, other people get the same interest in the same gumption to go after it too. But a legend, nah. I just know that I work with a lot of people.
Well, I think you've done more than just work with a lot of people. You've influenced an entire, I would say, a city. You've influenced an entire, because Vegas is so unique in the way that we're so young still in our, especially hip hop, in our process, you know what I mean? Yeah. And you're definitely a trailblazer as far as behind the scenes, for sure, in cultivating these artists. And every artist in Vegas that has a name, that has some respect as an artist, they've been to you. You've been, and not only have they been to you, but they've been working with you for a long time.
It's a lot of regular clientele that, and over the time, it's been so long they become family, man. I mean, it's rare that that I don't have a good relationship with most of the people that I work with. I mean, doing it for so long, I mean, I kind of get to pick and choose who I want to work with, but it's so many solid relationships that I don't have to do too much nitpicking, but that's what makes it organic. I mean, because I really just want. It's the same thing when I used to be in the food game. Serving food. You just want your customer to be happy, and you want to get paid for your services. So getting paid for your services is going to come with keeping everybody happy, anticipating needs the same way as you would anticipate a drink being low. You anticipate the beat being low. Let me turn it up a little bit and say something. And it was that was my algorithm. I anticipated what I knew because I was an artist turned engineer producer. I knew what they were going to want because I knew what I wanted in the studio and couldn't get from an engineer. So to create that for them ahead of time, they don't have to be like, man, what do I want? They're like, I was just about to tell you to do that.
Yeah.
Once you get that a series of times, hundreds and hundreds of times over the years, I've got 30, 35, 40,000 hours into this shit. So you're gonna find out all the things that go wrong and all the solutions to them. I mean, if you didn't go to school, it comes a little slower, but it comes.
Yeah, you're a master at work. You're a master. Feel like you've mastered the studio?
No, not at all.
There's always something to learn, huh?
Not at all, bro. It's my methods in the studio are more of a hybrid version. Most engineers or studio gurus would cringe at a lot of the shit that I do.
Is that because you come from being an artist, so you have that perspective?
Yeah, well, I'm an artist, and what an artist always wants, and I believe every artist can relate to this, is we want instant gratification in the studio. I want to hear exactly how I want my voice to be right then and there. I need to hear, man, put some tune on my voice, chop it, check that reverb off, or slow it down.
Because that helps with the process.
It does, but most of that is the growth of the process is stagnated in a lot of studios because most engineers aren't artists. So it's hard for them to grasp the concept, or at least they're acting like that because they're riding the clock. Because it's, you know. Yeah. So taking that method and seeing that and recognize that as an artist and as a now, you know, turn behind the scenes, we can make this work faster just by, I know what you want, I'm just going ahead and do it. Yeah. I'm not going to, hey, where do you want this? Where should this go? Let's stop playing games. Let's get this. So doing that and showing everybody that was possible. And I had so many people that I was their first time in the studio. So I spoiled so many people, bro. So when I did take a little hiatus after 10, 12, 15 years, and people were forced to go to other studios or go, you know, venture out, and that wasn't a hybrid version of recording. Yeah. They're like, what the fuck is this? Why is it taking so long?
I got to tell this motherfucker what to do. I don't know what I wanted to.
I know there's so many engineers out there that are sick of my name because so many artists will come and tell me, Tone does it like this. Hey, when Tone does it, he's going to, when Tone, and I know they're just rolling their eyes every day like this motherfucker. But,
well, a lot of artists, I think, they don't really know what they want. They don't know how to communicate what they want, you know, and it's up to an experienced person behind those boards to really decipher what they're trying to tell you, and then, you know what I'm saying. So
and outside of the music realm, a little bit of intuition as well. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have a little psychic ability. People are always swear they're like, I can't even count how many times when I'm doing something like I was literally fixing my mouth. Well, how I describe it to people is when I get into a session with somebody, it's almost like I have a USB cord that I hook into them because I can read a person really quick. I mean, personality-wise and music-wise. And as soon as I mean, after 20 years of doing this shit, you're gonna have like muscle memory for the shit.
Yeah, so, your brain is programmed.
So I know what if a person likes chops, if they don't like auto-tune, if they like heavy auto-tune, if they don't want heavy auto-tune. Of course, you're gonna ask, and if they're experienced enough and know how to circumnavigate the studio world, they're gonna speak up for themselves and say, no, I want this there. But rarely is it that I usually give people what it is they want the first shot around.
Right. Did you have any formal training growing up? Did you go to school, or did you have
none?
Self-taught. Those are the best. Those are the best ways, because you're not when you learn like on your own and, you know, on the whim kind of, but you love what you do and you really dive into it. You're not put into a box too early. You know, like you're not like formally trained, so you think it's supposed to go one way.
Yeah, no, the training definitely wouldn't have hurt. You know. It put me in a space to where I was definitely limited of my options if I decided to pursue working for another studio or going, you know, where your papers at, brother. Which, you know, I can show you a resume. I mean, and a lot of times it's based on experience and not so much that, but I definitely probably would have made different, more grandiose moves. You know, with that paperwork, but I'm not mad at the way it happened because, once again, this hybrid version garnered me something different than what most people get, and a big part of that is the longevity in it. Yeah, I mean, I'm ancient in this game, but I still feel like a young nigga.
You're an OG, bro. You've been doing it for so long, and it's so beautiful to see you still doing it. You're still touching these artists, and you're still working with these artists, and you're still.
I'm surprised to see it, man. You know,
they didn't give up on you. They still rocking with you. Yeah.
I mean, you got to think, bro. I was off the grid for about 4 years, maybe a little bit more, 5 years.
Yeah. So
like
why'd you take a sabbatical?
Life's a trip, man, and if you don't harness your ability to be aware of what your decisions can create, then it'll move willy nilly. You know, decisions. Bad luck, not being prepared is what led to, you know, my sabbatical. And it was necessary because of the it's crazy because you get all this attention, you get all this trust, you get all this respect, and then there's other aspects of your life where none of that shit has anything to do with that. Right. But most of your life is 80% that. So your muscle and are built up for that area. Yeah. In the other areas, your muscles are atrophied because you're not even worried about it. You're not thinking about it. You're not. And once that happens, if you're not prepared for failure, you know, it's going to be a little bit of a tester. Right. But I came out of it, man. That's crazy. I mean, I feel like a better person. I have better vision.
It's a lesson learned.
lessons learned, and still learning lessons. And now this time around is my because the first time I denied what my position was in giving back to the YGs and the younger cats, and Tone managed me. Tone, man, give me some advice. Give me a path, something. And, oh man, I don't be doing all that. Man.
Yeah.
You know, because I was living in two different worlds at the time. The street world and the music world, and you can't do both. You have to choose. Whether even in my space, it's not just a rapper who has to choose.
Right.
Stop selling dope and sell CDs. CDs, sell
Yeah.
USBs. But I mean, it's a place I'm glad to have experienced, but not a place I ever want to go back to. Because not just that. I mean, you also face your fears in a real way, and then you realize the things you were most scared of don't have nearly any of the potential to do damage that you think they can. I mean, and you just get to redefine who you are.
Yeah, you reinvented yourself. You felt like
in a way, I didn't really change my personality or I'm me, but
your perspective.
the way I wield my power and my abilities in a different way, and some humans with superpowers use it to be a villain or they use it to be a superhero. So it's like, I think I was a little bit on the fence before, man, and for a long time. I mean, but when you're not tested on that by your peers, because everybody else is on the same shit too, but and you might have something different going for you that's exclusive only to you,
right?
That anybody else's recipe for it might not work. So it was a crazy road getting to that place, and it's a crazy road getting to where I'm at now.
Yeah. Do you reflect a lot on like your journey? Do you reminisce?
Every day, bro.
Yeah.
Every day. I'm forced to. I'm still going through changes now. This is still happening as we speak. What I'm talking about, that transition, we're in the middle of it now. It hasn't crescendoed yet. It's in the middle of it now. And just even this attention I've garnered from people in a different capacity than it was 5-6 years ago, because I was always ducked off.
Yeah, you're like Batman. I said that to you when you came up here with Landlord. I was like, bro, you're two-tone? I'm like, what the fuck? Because I've always heard your name through high school, because you've worked with so many of my friends, man, and I've always heard your name, but I was like, I don't know what he looks like. I don't know what, you know what I'm saying?
That's the one part that was planned and that was on purpose.
Why? Because you was dabbling?
No, man. I knew, and this may have been subconscious, and a lot of it, hindsight 2020, but the plan to stay out of the way and out of the scene and not go cash in my wolf tickets just yet for what I've created, because you know how some cats peak in high school? Yeah. I was a nerd in school, so I didn't have to worry about none of that shit, So there was a lesson in that back in high school too. You don't rush, the shit, because then all you're left with is yesterday.
Exactly.
So
back in my day.
So I kind of cheated the system and watched my peers try to make it big or do their thing. Everything I got, look at me. I got all this right now. Look at me. It fizzle out over time. While and the ones that were quiet, laid back, shut the fuck up, we're still around years later.
Strange how that works, huh?
Yeah. So I didn't, the invites to the clubs, I rarely accepted, if ever. Anywhere I could be VIP or be seen, I never went. I was in the studio working. Right. And, over time I realized, as the new classes came in, the new popular rappers, the new...
You've seen it all.
But as they would come, they'd still be speaking my name. So I knew the code was working. It was like, they don't know who I am, so I'm still a mystery, so I don't have anything to have to maintain or a pace to keep. I don't have to show up in the Maserati and then show up in the Maserati again 3 years later and make sure you still got something bigger or better 3 years later. Yeah. It
doesn't matter.
It's the Wizard of Oz, you know. And
that's a perfect analogy.
But I finally had my curtain pulled though 5-6 years ago.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to,
Yeah. So you had to.
So the things in my personal life and street life and relationship life, everything was exposed for what it really was. That, you know, sometimes you get blinded by your own ambition or blinded by your own success.
Yeah.
That you stop trying and you just let the happenstance occur. And you think that's good enough. But that's not a strategy to build something big. That's a strategy just to hopefully the next day comes.
Yeah.
And then when the next day doesn't come and everything that you planned, you put that all in the proverbial egg basket. And then that motherfucker drop. Yeah.
Yeah, you find out who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, quick.
Yeah. How fast you can run and get that mop and them napkins and try to salvage them eggs, and you find in the end the motherfucker's gone.
Yeah.
Go get some new chicken.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you bounced back, man, because the city needs you.
I'm still bouncing, man.
Yeah, the city needs you,
It feels
bro.
good to be needed, man. It feels good to be needed. But at the same time, I've also learned to balance this shit. I gave my all to the city, which is why we're sitting here today and you hear my name. And that came at a price, you know, it came at, you know, in my personal life. So this time around, it's ironic that even with more attention than before and more eyes on me before than ever, because I came out from the cave and like, look at me.
Yeah.
I still don't have any intention of giving nearly as much time to it as I did before. So, which also makes the shit a little more valuable. And still maintains the sense of exclusivity.
Exactly.
You know,
Can't be for everybody.
you can't, man. I mean, once you're accessible to everyone, your value plummets.
Right.
And I knew that early on too, which is why it was always you got to know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who may know somebody that knows somebody. and not trying to say I'm a big dog or that I'm a big man. I'm too big. Don't holler at me. It's the way I protect the algorithm.
You protect it, exactly.
Because I see everything that can go awry. Nobody gives a fuck about something that's not theirs.
Right.
You know, so if you protect it like it's yours and give a fuck about it the only way that you're going to give a fuck about it, it'll be respected. If not, then keep those motherfuckers out of your space.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel you 100% doing this show. You have to curate, you have to curate your whole life in general. But especially, when you have something going on, you have to be extra like, yo, who do I want in this space? Exactly.
And that evolves into protecting your brand, because then essentially that's what it becomes a brand when you keep doing that same thing every day, one block at a time, bigger and bigger.
Yeah, and then you're synonymous with your brand. You are your brand. So you guys, it's it's a tricky road, but it's really simple. It's really simple.
It's a lot simpler than people think.
Yeah.
But it is hard to give up the things that it's going to require to give up to move forward.
Sacrifice.
Yeah.
Big sacrifice. Yeah.
The first thing you sacrifice is other people's opinions, because that's what runs the world.
Oh, for real. For real.
We know that. That's why we're on the show right now.
Yeah.
For opinions, But you put too much codependency into that shit.
Yeah, that's not good, man.
You're not even real anymore.
Yeah, you're lost. Yeah.
Remember that movie with Bruce Willis, The Surrogates or something like that, where they would stay at home in these little machines, but they would run surrogate bodies that were the perfect versions of themselves or who they wanted to be.
Okay.
But crime diminished 99 to 100% in the world, because everybody was just robots moving around. Like you had to have a surrogate to move around. But at home, you were just this messy, sloppy, unkept, uncouth, dirty creature.
Right.
Because you were just every day in this machine, living your best life.
Those opinions, man, and people's. I talk about this with music, in the music game too. It's ran on opinions. That's why award shows and all that shit is weird, because it's like, it's just whose opinion are we talking about,
So somebody finally had the genius idea to monetize that idea and create something like Instagram.
Exactly.
They got $2 billion for the idea, and now it's worth.
Man.
So I mean, because we do hate that, the opinion is what we always say. Why you care what people think? But at the same time, that's exactly what we care about.
Yeah.
So you gotta.
It's like a fine balance of like caring what people think, but not caring. It's like listening, but not like internalizing these opinions as your truth.
That's the balance if you just want to be accepted and want a smooth, unquestioned move through earth. But the ones that want a little bit of challenge, man, fuck you, bro.
Exactly. Yeah.
I like the challenge, bro.
Yeah, me too. If you're not pissing people off, you're not doing enough.
Yeah.
You're not doing enough.
It's easier to do when you're not really fearful of the things that most people are fearful of. They run and dictate their lives. that scares people too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just being a lot of people, especially like my generation, this new generation, soft as pudding pops, man. It's crazy. Sensitive as a motherfucker.
But the women hard as a motherfucker.
Yeah,
Stone,
right.
boy. Hey,
Yo,
that's another changing of the guard.
Yeah.
Women got fed up, bro.
Yeah.
They got fed up.
Yeah, for real.
They got fed up, bro. Yeah. That's the when you look at how I looked at it from my grown man perspective is that enough is enough. But this is the outcome from their generation before that was already rebelling.
Yeah.
But
now they don't give a fuck. Yeah.
But there's going to be new things that come along to give people satisfaction and desires. But the things that did it for me as a kid, I'm desensitized to that shit now, bro. Everything that you was like, ooh, look what I got. Hey, man, come here, look what I got. That shit is just readily available for any and everybody at any given time. It's like, damn, where's the fun? Or what are y'all even, like the one thing that was to look forward to for when you was a kid was to get a girl to like you and be able to kick with a girl or something like that. Yeah. Now it's like there's no challenge in that anymore either.
It's like, I used to have to work, put in work to get a girl to send me a picture in her little nudies. You know what I mean?
It's already on Instagram before you even.
For the world, it's like, damn, showing 25% of the nipple and everything. Like, damn.
So I'm looking forward to whatever the next thing that's installed in my upload. I mean my download or whatever it is that they give us every 10 years to make us change to adults. But I'm looking forward to the next thing to look forward to, man, because it's like the shit that I'm supposed to enjoy now is like, it doesn't do it for me anymore like that.
Man. Yeah. It's like cars. Like, come on, man, I need to win. I need to be able to fly already. Shit.
So I replaced that huge void of all the things that I'm desensitized to with golf.
Yeah, I see you have been golfing, man. I never really been golfing, but I've been in driving range a few times. But I hear it's a great stress reliever.
Bro, when I tell you golf is my happy place, man.
Yeah,
bro, I'm competitive already. And if you love sports, if you were an athlete of any kind, coming up, golf, you'll love golf. I mean, it's plus, we smoke on the course. If you drink, it's drinking on the course. I mean, it's a much better experience than you thought.
Yeah.
I picked up the game about 11, 12 years ago.
Dope.
My brother-in-law put me onto the game, and I had the plug right away, bro.
Yeah. You got it, huh? Yeah, I'll be 30 this year, so a lot of my friends is getting into it now, and I'm like, I'll go.
That's when I started.
Yeah, 30. Yeah.
That's the age, bro.
Yeah, I'm with it. Man, you got to take me out, man.
Yeah.
I grew up playing baseball, so I can swing that motherfucker for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Bro, if you play baseball, you gonna love golf, bro.
Damn, what the fuck was that? Is that an earthquake? Oh shit. Yeah, man, you gotta take me out.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Where do you go?
Man, I'll be all over the place, man. I'm in a little golf club called In the Cup, so.
Oh, you guys got clubs?
Yeah, it's like a little club. Yeah, OJ Simpson's in the club.
Oh, word. I seen you. I seen you posting. He's talking about Boosie and shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
he's so crazy.
Hey, he don't have an Instagram, man. So he seen the situation. He was, we got to talking about it. He was like, man, let's make something happen.
Did you hang out with him a lot? Or do you golf with him a lot?
Yeah,
regularly.
Once, twice a week at least.
So isn't it so crazy? He's just walking around regular.
Man, you know what? It's crazy because it's like he's the only infamous, famous person I know to where it's like he's talked about in this light, but yet in person, bro, everybody want to get a juice on some, like, can I get an autograph, a picture?
He's so cool, bro.
But he is, and everybody. But the stigma behind it that you would think that you hear, everybody talk about, but in his face ain't none of that shit.
No, they're not. They're on the ball.
That's all up, and he cool as hell. But you know what? And I can relate to him in a big way, bro. And just with his life and how shit went for him, and I look at my life in a much smaller, lower level, but just that to feel ostracized or feel like, like you just gotta disappear for a minute, you know what I'm saying? Or you got haters, or you somebody, I feel like anybody can relate to that if they're honest with themselves. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's always been, maybe not on that huge of a level, And the thing is, the man did his time for the shit he got found guilty of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And just like anybody else in America, man, you want to run through that same process, and you gonna hope the jury get the same result that you need.
Exactly.
That's fair game, bro.
And you don't want to have to, anybody that goes through that, anything like that, you don't want to have to, people holding that over your head the rest of your life. Like if you did your time, it's like that's the system. But but that's also the price of fame too. Yeah. So you get a different result than you or I would get. Big time, for sure. Yeah. I have a crazy Juice story. It's not really crazy, but I got to tell the story because it's so fucking funny, dog. He's a character, man. We were at the I think it was opening night at the new Aviators game. Right, the baseball team up here, and me and my boy went, and then we were walking out after the game. Right, we're walking back to our parking lot, and we're waiting at the crosswalk, and then we look to our right. It's like a little family, and then we look. It's O.J. Simpson standing right next to us at the crosswalk. No security, by himself.
Where was this?
This was like maybe 2 years ago.
Okay, he had just got out.
Yeah, I think so.
He just got out.
Yeah, it was fresh for sure. He had no security with him, and he was just by himself. So we're walking across the crosswalk, and then the family goes that way, and then he keeps walking like right next to us. He's going the same way we're going. I was like, bro, I gotta say something, right? So I said, Juice, what's up, man? We start talking. He's talking about girls. He's doing all this. Like, just the coolest, down to earth. Like, from the moment I said something, it was like, yo, we've known each other for like 30 years already. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then he peels off. He gets to his car, and he had like a Bentley or a Rolls Royce or something, right? Bentley, yep. And I was like, he walks up to his car, and I was like, yo, that's a nice whip, Juice. And then he turns around, he looks at me, he said, I'm the Juice, motherfucker. And he gets in his car and drives off.
That's OJ for sure.
Yo, I was like,
that's quintessential Juice for sure.
Yo, when he said that, I looked at my boy, I was like, yo, what just happened, bro? OJ just, I'm the Juice, motherfucker. Like, what are you talking about?
That's his way of letting him know he likes you or he fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? That's a cool way.
He flexed on us for a second. I was like, that was dope, man. That was crazy.
My first couple times on, coming around, I was kind of the new guy around. So but all of a sudden, every week, bro, he just talks mad shit to me, bro. Major, like, walks in the
He's an athlete. He's an athlete.
Fuck you, Steph. Steph, you suck. Randomly across the room, like, all right, man, that's what's up. All right, fuck you, Juice.
Yeah, man. Crazy. But let's get back to the music, man. I feel like you're do you, working with all these different artists, do you ever like get in the middle of some bullshit where you gotta like de-escalate a situation, like between artists that you're working with and shit? Have you ever had to? Does your influence go beyond the studio?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. But that's actually never happened at the studio like that, bro. It's always it's a neutral space for and it once was in Vegas, But yeah, man. But these are my little bros and nephews and brothers, and I definitely believe if I had something to say in a situation where there was a situation that needed some mediating, I had some say. But I haven't had to
really,
not in that capacity. I've had my own situations occur, where those are also the same situations that shaped how I did business going forward. So anything crazy that happens that's like out of the realm or out of any place that I want to be, I lock that shit down after that moment. However that occurred or however it got in or seeped through, I'll cover that hole up or, patch that up and lock it up and, and it'll never occur again. And that usually works out like that.
Right.
But,
a lot of artists have a hard time doing business, or they don't know how to do business the right way.
You
don't even deal with it at this point.
Well, this is the thing, man. Like I said, I was the one that kind of shaped how a lot of these artists do business in the studio. So a lot of it is the ways I'm comfortable with already. So as that spread throughout the city and it comes back to me, I have interest in that stake. So it's like it's my cup of tea already. But anytime there is an artist that doesn't know how to handle business, I'm old enough to speak my mind and say what's up. If not, I don't have to do business with you, bro. That's just how it is. I'm real particular on how people interact with me.
Yeah.
respect is real big for me. So if there's any kind of weird, funny bunny shit, I know too many people to keep you hanging on. I just cut the string, bro. I don't care. Just as much as you don't care to respect me, I don't care to give you anything back. It's just that easy. Like we can separate as companies. There's no love lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Egos and shit, man.
And now that's why I look down now, because I have a couple different moments flashing in my head that remind me of like why I keep the rules for myself that I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Man, rappers and their egos, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just rappers, bro. It's people, bro. Yeah. Right? You know, and you know what? The thing is when at least with me, when rappers and artists and singers, you know, they come to the studio, we've already had the rapport to where they don't do that shit with me, right? Because I don't create a space for that. Right. It's be yourself. Mm-hmm.
Be respectful.
That's a given. If I have to tell you that shit, then we don't even need to be in company yet. Yeah. That's it's kind of like with, you know, how you do when you choose your love interest. It's like if you're constantly have to explain your love language, then maybe it's not for you, bro. Yeah. You know, if I have to, we're talking about a year later, and I'm still telling you, I like my bread toasted.
Yeah. Why are you not toasting my bread?
It's that simple. Like, I know that you like the Snickers with the peanut butter. I get it for you every time. I never fuck it up. Yeah. Every time on purpose. Even when you don't ask for it, I bring it. But, you know, you know, just shit like that. So when you know how it is, and that's the thing is, you know, common sense ain't so common. Mm-hmm. So you kind of have to, I don't want to say dumb yourself down, but you dumb yourself down for a lot of situations just for the social norm and to observe social cues. Because being the smartest person in the room and then telling everybody you're the smartest person in the room has the exact opposite desired effect.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's not for you to say. Mm-hmm. And if you can observe that, then then you've locked in the humility. If you can observe the giving people the respect they deserve, then those are different nuances that occur every day in life on everybody's agenda. So it's like,
man. It's well, you said you worked in hospitality.
Food server. I was a food server.
Okay, So you learned that, like, I was in the industry for a little bit too, and you learn just how to deal with people and read people and how to, how to react to people and what to say. So
for me, it also comes with being a mixed kid too. I mean, you observe black culture and white culture and understand them both equally. Sometimes you're a translator for either side. And it's the universal ambassador. And so that allows you to interact and hobnob with the streets or not the streets.
Or Karen. Oh man. So who's white, who's black?
My mama's white, daddy black.
White, daddy black. Are you from here?
No, I've been here since '97, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'm from LA.
Oh, you're from LA?
And then moved to Alabama and then moved here.
Then Alabama.
Alabama back and forth as a kid. And then that's where my daddy was at. Then finally I went there in the middle of high school. Okay. Finished out there. That was definitely necessary for me, man.
Okay. Why you getting in trouble in high school?
I was getting in trouble in Cali, but
what part of LA?
Monrovia. Okay. Monrovia, California. It's right outside of Pasadena, Duarte area. But I lived all over Southern Cal, bro. Azusa, West Covina. But I was born in LA at Cedar Sinai. Okay. But going to Alabama from Cali was the biggest change I needed, because in Cali I was with my mama and my stepdad, who were both white, and I was the only child.
That could have been. How was that? Was that confusing? Was that?
It wasn't really confusing. You got to think, bro. My pops was gone early as far as them being together, so it was always dysfunction for me, which was in turn it was normalcy for me. So I didn't realize that mine was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It just was what it was. So, we were the only white family for a time being. I mean, there was a few white people in an all-black church. So that's where the struggle was for me, all my black peers and shit, like, in my situation, and then how I looked, I wasn't the coolest of kids at all. So I had the big Turkish turtle shell frames, the tortoise shell, what are the Sally Jesse Raphael
glasses. The glasses and all that,
with the big, she didn't take me to a barber shop, so I would go to Fantastic Sam's, and they would use this real shag afro looking thing. It was horrible, bro. It was horrible. So,
damn.
But like I said, hindsight being 2020, I was able to keep all the shit that would have made me peak out at that age, being a cool kid, to be able to kind of pace it out and shit.
Yeah, the cool kids in high school are just usually that's their peak, man. Like you said, the cool kids in high school aren't so cool anymore.
And looking back, and then it's confirmed. I mean, it's not just it's not just cliche. It's true. It really is. But going to Alabama is where I was able to pick up for the culture that I really most identified with.
Yeah.
But I went from being only child in an all-white household to one of 5 kids in an all-black house. With my uncle living there, cousin living there, stepmama, daddy. So I needed that to, even as a person, to know how the world doesn't revolve around me. To how to share and how to, love your family and do shit for family. When you're the only child. Mom, when you coming home with groceries?
Get out of my room, Mom.
Man, like a motherfucker, bro. I had my own room, own bathroom. It was ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, that's it's not healthy. Kids need to be around other kids.
Which I'm glad my 2 sons have each other. Because I didn't have that. I didn't get my siblings until my dad remarried. Or he never married my mama, but when he remarried, then I got my sisters and my little brother, and then
and that's a big jump from the West Coast to anywhere else in the country, bro. Culture shock for real.
But because it correlates with the music, the move was perfect for me because it was right around the time the South was bubbling. Master P and Silk the Shocker were huge at the time. I mean, everybody would be in a Cadillac bumping Silk the Shocker, smoking blunts. I mean, that's where I really, would go with one of my best friends, Ed Parker. Shout out Ed, Jermaine, all my niggas back there. But we just go really live what you see in the music videos. We was really down there doing that. We'd be in the Cadillacs and 3-4 Cadillacs in a row, whatever. On the 4-lane, going across the water to Mobile, smoking big fat blunts, bumping Master P. Bounce that ass, bounce that ass. You hoes, bounce that ass, bounce that. I mean, but it was so new to me that I'm still like, I can't believe I'm really here. I'm really black now.
That's hilarious.
But I needed that, man. I needed that to survive what would soon become what it is.
That's a clip right there for your ass, boy. That's funny as fuck. Damn. So music is different in all different places, but down there it's different. I'm sure. It's like it's more ingrained into the culture, and I feel like it's a lot more soul.
It's real love down there, man. I mean, it's you don't mind saying what's up to somebody just because they're randomly walking by.
Southern hospitality.
You do that shit out here. Who you talking to, nigga? Out here, matter of fact, if you don't wave, you's a weirdo. Out there. One thing I couldn't get used to because I'm stupid rebellious, bro. Like, just in my life, is how I just like being myself. So I could never get into the whole sir and ma'am thing because I came from Cali, in the middle of high school, and it was yes ma'am, yes sir, yes ma'am. They call on me, huh? What's up? Just that kid.
I was that
kid. I was that kid. And I was the only mixed kid in the whole school, so I just thought I'm gonna do shit different. Just a dumb kid thinking. But I mean, it was fun. I mean, when I look back, I'm glad I had that time. I'm glad I didn't get stuck in what I was becoming.
Yeah, I'm sure that's probably a turning point in your life because I went to college in Cleveland, and that was a turning point in my life. Coming from here to go just being plotted in a whole new world, pretty much new reality. Your mind really opens up. You know what I'm saying? So that's dope. I think a lot more kids need that, man. So how's fatherhood been for you?
Challenging, bro. I mean, from a mental perspective, man, because you constantly think you're failing, even when you're succeeding, because it's never enough when you keep thinking about the future for your kids. It's never enough at the moment, and it's never enough in your mind in the future when you do have in your mind everything. Nope, that's not enough. Still, I need to. Man, I don't want to have to. Please don't ever let him hurt himself. Please don't, man. If somebody talk to my kid, like you're. There's just this ongoing, like a slot machine is always changing its algorithm so that there's never a pulse or that you can find. That's how it is as a father. It's always manic, and then you also tend to, I mean, if you're worth your salt as a father or a man, you're gonna care about what their mother's thinking they're going through too, even if you're not together.
Yeah.
And to constantly always weighing that, it's something that I think most men can relate to as fathers. It's something that's always going on that you kind of have to suppress in the back of your mind, because if you showed what you really felt, you would look like a babbling, crying idiot. You know what I'm saying? Because it's you know, as men, we're supposed to be the ones that are keep it together and be there for the support mechanism. But it's childhood. I mean, fatherhood is hard, man. It's
How old are they?
11 and 8.
Oh, okay.
So they're still young.
Yeah.
You know, I started late. You know, all my partners is done raising kids. And, you know, which is why being in the studio has kept me so young, bro, because I'm always around younger cats.
Yeah.
So I think somehow my life is kind of became that. You know how they say if you with somebody long enough, you start to look like them. You know, my life started to look like a perpetual 30-year-old.
Yeah. That's dope though. You got to keep you know, the young energy around you.
Well, for my business, it's definitely necessary for to be to at least be tapped in a little bit for the ones that are coming, because you're creating the picture for the people that are trying to show how cool they are. So, you know, you have to be able to kind of pull that off for them and be tapped in and know what that is, which is why a lot of engineers fall off over the years, and because ain't nothing like the sound of the 90s, man. I'm gonna make you sound like Warren G. Come here, boy. I don't want to sound like Warren G, bro.
Yeah. These kids don't even know who Warren G is,
right,
man.
It's just, for me, it's shut up and do the work. You know, that's one thing I learned too as an artist coming up and visiting all these different studios and meeting different managers and agents. That stupid ass rhetoric they do, man. That talk about the
man in the suit guy.
Man, it's just
it's ugly. It's gross.
I hate it, bro.
Yeah.
I hate it. So at any turn I could help somebody coming up on that part to avoid that or circumnavigate that or just boot it down. Or if I'm in a room and I hear it going on, sometimes I just can't bite my tongue, bro. Even if I'm not part of it, it could be somebody they're paying, bro, to be there in that capacity. But my experience that comes with that, I see, you know, I'm like, hey, hold on. Hey, cuz that's not,
leave it alone.
Nigga, leave that shit alone, bro.
You need, you know, these kids need it, and you know, not even kids, just artists in general need the ear, like, you know, need someone like you in their ear for sure, man. Do you ever have artists in your studio and you're just thinking to yourself, man, this motherfucker is trash?
You know what? Like I said earlier on, I get to pick and choose my own clientele. So not really, but every now and then want to creep in.
Do you ever just be like, yo, like, I know you not living what you talking about, man?
Nah,
you don't get into that.
I don't challenge people on that. What I do challenge them on is their abilities in the booth, as far as you know, you can do that better. That's not what it is. Or given, it depends on the artist. Everybody's different. Once again, it's reading them when they walk in the room. If it's your first time working with them, knowing who's open to criticism, knowing who needs a little push, knowing who needs adoration, knowing who needs approval. Most of those don't come to my studio because I'm not that big. I'm not. That's the thing, man. My bedside manner isn't the best, depending on the mood you find me in. But I am cool, calm, and collected. But the whole, you're doing great. Yeah. Hey, that's the ticket.
Oh no, that doesn't do anybody any help.
I'm not that guy. Yeah. Even when you are doing well, okay, that's what you're supposed to be doing. That's great. The thing is, I've been doing it for so long and done it so many times over. It's almost like sandpaper that's kind of been, it's that. So to be impressed by an artist is hard for me to, it's always just kind of, all right, cool, next take, let's get it going.
Have you ever had those moments where you're just like, damn, that shit was hot?
Yeah, oh yeah. There's still artists that, and I need that just for the simple fact to know that I'm still relevant and pulling in people who are getting that response. Yeah, obviously money's money, know, but who doesn't want to record the music that's being listened to? Right. That's always good. So when you hear somebody that's tight, you know that. And plus, as the years gone by, my clientele has gotten bigger and bigger. They've gotten better situations, so they're able to peek out a little bit further. Yeah, and that's cool to be able to touch shit that's getting further and further out. Yeah, I would of course like to be a lot further on with the music and shit, but where I'm at now, I kind of like the realm because I get to still be in this. It's the spot. It's the space where everybody's still trying to make it.
Yeah.
Because once you've made it, then you made it. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. And then it's the downslide. Now it's like it's almost that when you get and that's the thing I've learned being older too, is that enjoying the process. I know a lot of people say that, and you hear that, and it's true.
Yeah,
the process is
everything.
The time. It's that's the enjoyment part. That's the part of getting to where you're at.
Yeah. It's they say it's harder to stay on top than it is to get there, and that's the thing. Like but you've been able to grow up with some of these artists, man, like The Landlord, and P Fire, and D Cross.
It's crazy because
I had P Fire and D Cross on the other day too.
Yeah.
Okay. That's gonna be dropping soon.
You had them both on at the same time?
Well, D Cross came up, and then P Fire pulled up a little bit later.
Okay,
so
those are bros, man. I've known them cats since they were kids, man. Since before.
That's so crazy. They're legends too, man. They're legends in this Vegas shit. Man.
It feels good, and it's like I'm like a proud big brother. Yeah. You know, seeing
Rico too.
Rico too, man. Because we all started together, and to see it blossom, to see that for people that don't know, Vegas music scene the way it exists now, was created in 06, 07. That's when it sparked, and it was with YBE and Team Gutter, which was all the cats you just named.
Yes, sir.
So it's only fitting that over a decade later, we're all still the ones that get talked about and the ones that are still relevant. You know what I'm saying? It was something there. It's a piece that we all contributed. I don't want to say I'm responsible for it. I don't want to say that any one person is responsible for it, but collectively, we all kept working long enough and with due diligence and kept it going. Some fell off. I ain't gonna say no names, myself included. And some came back and some bounced back. But it's like, to see it is really fulfilling. If anything, just to know if we never make it past this realm, that we've solidified our names here in this city. We're part of the story as far as music in this era is concerned.
Without question, you birthed it. You know that YBE. I was there. I grew up in the North too, and Team Gutter and YBE and all that.
And I was recording both sides of the beef.
And yes, and that's, your name was always there. And I didn't know what you look. I didn't know what you looked like. Yeah. And
even with the thing that made it really move for the original Dundada, which is the original branch to how it all, stems out, is Sadru.
Sadru Price.
And then Pee Wee.
Landlord,
and the landlord, which they all, they were all one big circle of, so to thrive in that is what kind of moved my name along the way, because and I'd feature on Sadru shit throughout the years. I'd do skits. I'd be Lanu Nice. One day I'm always talking shit, bro. So when Sadru would be in the studio, man, I'd always mimic his voice, make fun of his shit in another way, and then that's how the Lanu Nice skits were birthed, because I'd be like trying to rap like, because Sadru had that real off kilter kind of, and then it just. But he be busting up, bro. I mean, it's you can only laugh at the shit when it's really funny and shit. So we had to put that shit down. But it's so many good memories, man, with coming up, because those are the things that shaped how I do the shit I do now, because I was practicing with these cats.
Yeah.
The first time I ever sang on anybody's shit in Vegas as a featured singer was Too Realist shit.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah. That was
shout out Mook and Fastlane.
Yeah,
man.
that was they ended up doing Hustle, Shine, Grind, Hustle, Shine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was supposed to be in that video. I didn't show up to the park that day, but I wish I had.
In the stadium, under the little bleachers and shit, right there on Cary.
And so I was like, damn, so this is what I'm going to be doing now. I guess I'm going to be doing hooks on nigga shit. And then all of a sudden now, singing is all I do now.
Yeah.
The rapping had to be retired unless I had got on with that shit and could be on some Jay-Z shit. But I'm not going to chase being a rapper. For me, it's not. It's not a good look. So the singing, I can do that shit till a nigga 50, 60, 70 or something. And,
Yeah, so it's so beautiful to see the progress and see you guys still doing it, still working together. Like I said, it makes as me as just a fan of music, and just I love my city so much. It makes me proud to see Landlord and P Fire and Cross and you guys still doing it, still trucking ahead, and
not just doing it, it's not just existing.
Yeah,
niggas is really living and
leveled the fuck up.
It's fucked up because people judge it with this ruler of, if you're not the baby or you're not money bag or you're not on, then you're not on.
Right.
Niggas is doing their thing, bro. Nigga, if there's states that are thousands of miles away that are reciting your lyrics with you when you're performing in their town, you're doing something, bro. Because this is a big deal if they do it out here.
Yeah.
I wish these motherfuckers that do talk shit could go to a show and have anybody that's not their friends and family there to see them reciting their lyrics with.
Exactly.
But you go to a Landlord concert, everybody in that motherfucker, you gonna see that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? And you go to Europe, they gonna know who D Cross is.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You go to New York,
and they
P Fire gonna be in their motherfucking mouth.
Well,
I mean, it's beautiful to see because they helped me grow too. So to see the mood, we bounced off each other. You know, they give me love all the time and tell me the inspirations that I was, and they've been inspirations to me. You know, all my clientele, this because what we create are our kids, which is the music, is our kids, our babies. We put it out there, you know, and it's doing it together. When you create a family like that, a family of music, then it's a beautiful thing, bro. Especially when it's still respected and adored by everybody else outside of it. We could all say, man, our shit tight, bro. I know my shit tight, but
you know, the ones that with the tight shit don't say that though. You know,
so you just hold yourself to a certain standard and you keep doing that thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you keep doing it because you like it and haven't even observed anyone else's take on it, oh no, this is what I picked all my own beats. I wrote all my own shit. Yeah, we can tell.
Yeah. Yeah, your shit is ass.
Yeah. Sometimes you need a team. Sometimes you are Kanye, but most of the time, you need
people like that's gonna be honest with you, brutally honest with you. That doesn't care about your feelings really. It just wants you to be the best version of yourself.
Right, which in turn is caring about your feelings.
Exactly.
But but I'm not gonna baby you for it.
Right.
You learn that along the way. Unless you're somebody who's always coddled and always has somebody taking care of you. And you never challenge yourself to something different, you're not gonna excel. You're gonna be stagnant. And I know that from experience, bro. Yeah. As much as you heard from me and as much as you heard the work I've done, I was being in that studio every day. Before this version of me, I wasn't ever challenging myself to anything. And the universe took it away from me. You better challenge yourself, nigga. I'm gonna give you one more chance. All right, go ahead. So you have to challenge yourself for sure to get better. Yeah, for sure. No matter how good you're blessed and talented you was.
Yeah, you know, talent could be a blessing and a curse because you might feel like you don't have to work that hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you take that talent and put some business prowess with it, you the next mogul. Yeah, you want to be an artist, you want to be a businessman because the artistry is only for 5-10 years, bro. Yeah. Then it's what did you learn from that? What did you take from that? What did you invest in with that mentally and financially?
Right. How do you feel about the state of hip hop right now? Just the sound and
locally or nationally?
Just nationally, just in general, like.
It's very cookie cutter, obviously.
At an all-time high, Jesus Christ! Even down to the image. It's like,
I mean, you obviously have to blame Drake for that. It's not necessarily a negative thing. Yeah. They found the perfect algorithm, and why the fuck would you keep doing what works? That's obvious now.
The singing and rapping you're referring to, the singing and the rapping,
Well, just even the same look, the cookie cutter sound, the one that once you tap into that frequency that people like, you're gonna create it over and over again. They've been doing it since the 40s and 50s. It's bubble gum and pop and all that shit. But I've been tuned to it, man, and I didn't reject it. So it comes on, I enjoy it, man. I'm a big fan of like Don Toliver and I like Trav. I like Lil Baby. I like the new shit, bro. Yeah. I fuck with it, and I need to know it. I have to do my homework so I can make y'all sound like that. Exactly. You know, most of my peers fucking hate it, bro. I'm always having to do battle or defend.
Yeah, because you don't want to be like bitter, like, oh, music sucks nowadays. But you know what's crazy is it is super oversaturated, where there is too many artists, first of all, to even keep up with. And there is a lot of
many, bro.
Yeah, there is a lot of terrible shit out there. There is, but there's also a lot of good music coming out right now, bro.
Cole's new shit, bro, is fucking J. Cole, man. That shit.
I still can't get over the freestyle. I can't get over the freestyle.
I shit it, and these niggas popped the piss in. Man,
yeah,
that
he
shit is
said I'm
crazy.
the hardest shit out the South since slavery.
Man.
Man, but it was yeah, I can't get over freestyle yet. I listened to the album, but I got to listen to it a couple times. But yeah, man, there's a lot of good music out here. It really is, and for anybody who doesn't really want to accept that, I think it's kind of crazy.
There's always that though.
Yeah.
There's always gonna be, and if we just
opinions, like we said earlier,
if we accept that and move past that, then we take away the power. Of what it is they're trying to do. Most people are just trying to troll, or most people are just trying to exercise what they really feel, which is okay. Some people are born with different personalities. They just don't like the shit that everyone likes. That it's like, how can you? It's undeniably. What the fuck you mean you don't like Michael Jackson? Right. Who the fuck doesn't like Michael Jackson? You know. Yeah,
and I think a lot of people try to conflate like outside antics with music and shit, you know what I mean? Like they try to conflate it all and be like, oh, you don't not like their music, you just don't like that person.
Yeah, and I try to understand that part of it too, because as parents, you want to kind of obviously the artists are role models. Yeah. So what they're doing in their personal life will reflect if you're doing the music. But the truth is, kids are gonna do what the fuck they want to do, bro. Yeah. It's like the more the parent tries to say, "Don't do it," I don't want you to do that. They're gonna be like, "Nigga, I'm doing that."
You shit. You gotta tell them like, music it's music. You have to. That's what I learned. I had to separate the music from the person, like the artist from the person. And we could be friends. Like I got a lot of friends that do music that I'm super cool with. I got a lot of respect for them, but I do not fuck with their music at all. Yeah. So once I learned in my mind how to separate the two, my life has been a lot less stressful.
But that in our positions though, that it's a slippery slope because, and I'm gonna give you a little a reason of why I think like this now. When I was coming up in church, man, Bishop Williams was the pastor, and he had this story about this pecan pie, or this horrible, nasty pecan pie that he hated. But one of the mothers of the church had brought him this pecan pie, just as a gift, And he hated the pecan pie with a passion. Next week when she came back, Pastor, how'd you like the pecan pie? Oh, it was lovely. I loved it. So this little old lady, every week from then on out, would bring him a pecan pie. She'd spend her little money, buy 10 pans, buy pecans with brown sugar, crust, all that, making some shit he didn't even want. When he could have in the beginning just spoke up and really said what he felt, his true opinion from the beginning, and saved her all her money on tin and brown sugar and pecans, and saved him having to throw a pecan pie away and lie every damn week that he liked it. So I apply that to everything in life as far as how I see something. I could either speak about it now or deal with all the shit that's gonna come with the domino effect of me lying about it right now, or just saying I didn't want to, or no, I don't like it. Yeah. I made another song for you. Yeah. This one I made it about you. I put your name in it. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. Well, really, it could have been, man, fuck you. I don't like my shit. I'm never gonna play it again.
Exactly.
We just both won. Yeah. We both just won. Yeah. Because.
You exposed yourself.
You kept it because you kept it 100 from the gate.
Yeah, man. I've been dealing with that a little bit lately because people have been, I say this humbly, that people have been wanting to come on my show. They've been hitting me up to get an interview and stuff, and I have to keep that standard, like you said. I have to keep that standard.
And that's the part I was going to say. It's hard in our position because that was my point.
Because I don't like to say no, and I don't like to, I am an asshole, and I don't have a problem being an asshole. But if I don't really know you or anything, I don't want to have a bad rapport with anybody. I don't want to rub you the wrong way just because I don't like your music. Like I said, we could be cool and stuff, but at the end of the day, this is my business, and this is for anybody who has something. You have to protect that. You know what I mean?
And what that is for them is the awakening that, okay, so what is it that you think I need to do to be able to garner the ability to get on your show? Right. And then you can really give a real opinion of what they, and you're being you're being a true friend, and you're being honest with yourself, and then therefore it's to recognize if this is for them or not. Because there are a lot of people that do it that shouldn't be doing it, and the friend in me would tell them, you should stop. But the businessman in me is not going to do that. And at the same time, who am I to tell somebody else what their dream should or shouldn't be? Now, if they're asking for my professional opinion, that's one thing. But it's just me just willy-nilly, I don't like your music, bro.
Yeah.
The fuck you, nigga. I paid you today, bro. The hell? Like, sometimes it's choose your battles.
Right,
You know?
right.
And for me, I've learned to choose my battles for sure because,
Yeah, sometimes you just don't want to bark up that tree. And it's
well,
just,
the thing is that everything's gonna fall off on its own,
Right.
as opposed to, you know. And then if it keeps going, maybe you'll be pleasantly surprised.
yeah, that's what I said. That's why I tell people all the time, like, your music's not good right now. That's just right now. You stick with it. And, you know, consistency is the biggest key in anything that you do, man. It's just be consistent and standards and quality. And, you know what I'm saying? You'll be all right. You'll find a lane.
Recognizing, though, when the quality isn't met. And sometimes you don't have the ability to see that. So knowing and having the wisdom to know that you need somebody to play that role for you that you respect, that's been proven, experienced, and successful in that role.
Exactly.
If you're taking your career seriously.
Exactly.
You could just have a humble, I'm his manager.
Yeah. Okay, I've seen
bro.
that too many times. Yeah.
Okay, bro.
Yeah, P. Fire came up here and he said he hit the nail on the head. He said there's a lot of just in case relationships going on now where people will support anything and everything because maybe one day that person might blow and they don't want it. They, just in case, I'm going to support you just in case. I don't think your shit is good, but just in case. And that's a trend right now. Everybody supports everything.
That's why we got the Fake Love series, bro.
Yeah.
Fake love is a real thing, bro. And it's all, but I did have this epiphany years ago that we all use each other for one thing or another. Now, it might be for love, it might be for a ride, it might be for a job. But if we recognize that each other and give equal reciprocity back, it'd be a smooth, cold game.
Yeah.
But we don't. We think that our like is equal to the 5 hours in the studio time they just spent all their hard work on is equal pay for what they just gave. You know what I'm saying? My like is worth that, so you owe me now in the future when you get on because I supported you, bro.
Yeah.
Nigga, I just spent $3,000 of studio time and
Exactly.
my nigga's artwork and his shoes, these outfits, and my, you know what I'm saying? It's more than just that to be considered, you know. But at the same time, us as artists make it hard for the listener and the fans to support other artists when we use our power to ostracize other artists. And so there's one person's fan base that won't like a whole nother motherfucking niggas clique and all they people because their favorite rapper says, I don't fuck with cuz. I don't like blood. So
that's where the tribalism comes in.
If it starts there, though, if it starts where they see us doing it with each other, where it's like, then, okay, we can take this seriously. But at the same time, man, the city's never felt like it has right now. I feel like it's really bubbling, bro.
Yeah, you've seen the whole process. You've been there for the whole process, not and been involved.
I've never been able to say that it's felt like it's bubbling.
Wow.
Usually I was like, okay, this our year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a quick question. We'll get on this, but what was the city like before like the landlord? What was the scene like?
Bro, it was a true desert. It was it was Doomsday was the biggest thing popping.
What was that?
Doomsday, that was the record label that put out. They made like gangster rap, bro. Like
really,
like just straight up gangster rap. It was like Playboy 7, Moke C.
Wow, out here, huh?
Yeah,
I need to do some research.
Hell yeah, you got to do your research.
I never heard of Doomsday.
What? Yeah, but they rap about gory shit like bust your mama head open, put it on the floor, shoot it several times, and get some more. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
some wild shit. Damn. So what happened to them?
Niggas get old. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's like if it, and it's Stacy G. All you can see is my dust. Dun, 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 dun. That was a huge. That was back when having one single you could do because it wasn't saturated at all, and there was no MySpace or Facebook or nothing like that. La Clica was huge. They're a Mexican rap group.
Yeah, we got to sit down. I need to do my research because I love hearing about. Because I haven't really. I've asked a couple of people and nobody can really give me a definitive answer like on what was going on back then.
Bozy T, my brother Bozy. Matter of fact, Bozy's who produced Melancholy, my new single with Landlord. But he had a group called Desert Squad, I believe, and they were like 15, 16, and they were.
So there
were some things popping. You know, it was moving. But then the Lil Wayne came, and change the generation.
Okay.
And change the way younger cats moved. Now that now younger cats move like older niggas, and then you have motherfuckers like Pee Wee and Cross and Mook and Creole and SU. And man, there's so many. I mean, I don't want to leave out nobody, man.
SU, he's motherfuckers don't know about SU, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm trying to get him out of the cave. I talked to Toxic, and he said he might be with it. So I gotta get SU out the cave, man. Those battles, man, it's
and SU is such a pivotal part of my story, just for the simple fact of what his family, was to me or is to me.
Yeah, their dad, yeah.
And Toxic, Toxic been around me since he was 13, 14, 15, bro, and he had keys to my studio at 16. He was and he was the only one that I really can say he was like a true protege. Like there's lots of cats that I gave the game to that'll tell you I learned what I know from Tone and shit, but Toxic was the one that was like, he was up under it every fucking day, and like, and to see what came from that is beautiful too. Like it's so many. That's the thing too, man. And maybe that's kind of the part that will make me feel a bit. Like when you asked me earlier, do I feel like a legend? Because then I start naming all the people that are connected to me that I'm like, fuck. Like every interview I turn on. Look, but what's so crazy, bro? And look, the last maybe 6, 7, and I'm not exaggerating. I'll go on an interview or a live streaming one or one on here, not even looking to hear my name. But all of a sudden I'll be on it and be like, yeah, and Two-Tone, like, what the fuck? And I'll go another one, be like, yeah, Two-Tone. I'm like, damn, niggas is still okay, that's what, man, but damn, was I really working this much?
Yeah, you
when
are.
I look about it, it's like, damn, it's dozens, hundreds of people, but that are still relevant. And so it's good to see because it means a nigga was on to something. Something cool.
I mean, I've been hearing your name, and I was never really involved in music. Like in high school and shit, we've been hearing your name. It was just that influence,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But Toxic and Reggie and SU, man, the bloodline there, bro, is crazy, man. I mean, the Pops is still a spitter. No, I mean, and he looked younger than me and you both. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Man, I can't wait for if SU can come out of the Bat Cave. And I would love to talk to him, man.
Yeah, man.
Okay. So now, so you feel like the city's in a different place right now.
And it's in a different position, and also I think it's also the playing field's been kind of leveled to an even place because of COVID, man. Changed all the rules and how entertainment's gonna happen, and it's. I think it's like also a rush to the finish line to see who can get there first and create the new blueprint for what this is going to be. Because obviously capacities are going to be lowered because of everything. So you're going to have to generate income in other ways and monetize other situations. And with internet, man, it's limitless.
Yeah.
And the young niggas got bread now, bro.
I know, it's crazy.
20-year-olds and 30-year-olds didn't have money like they got now, bro.
Yeah.
The internet changed a lot of shit, bro.
Yeah.
A lot of shit. And also, the internet gave niggas access way younger and education way faster. I mean, all the things that you have access to. So you can go and jump into a game. I mean, I'm proud of them. I'm seeing these youngsters, man. I'm like, damn, bro, you buying real estate now, bro?
Yeah.
You driving this and that. I mean, I wish I had somebody to put some game in my ear when I was younger, bro, so I could have really solidified it earlier.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what's crazy is I think about that too, and I see some of these young cats just balling out of control. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, I'm kind of glad that wasn't me. Because if I had money when I was 24, 25,
you fucked off now.
Yeah, I'd be
same
fucked
thing
off.
goes for me, bro. That's why I say I'm kind of glad I'm getting it now because it's still not yesterday for me yet. And then because younger, bro, my immaturity, man, same thing. I'd have done some stupid ass shit. Did some stupid shit with the money I did have. You know, it's necessary to have some scruples when you got some bread.
Yeah, when you got some money, it kind of gets scary because now you got freedom, you got the power to do what you want to do.
So you think.
Yeah.
But you could be locking your own cage.
Exactly.
Depending on how you do that shit, bro. Yeah. I've seen the best of them, bro. Lose it all, or just do the wrong shit with it. I mean, every person's different, man. That's the thing. You can't predict any of this shit, man.
Yeah.
Just like you can't predict earthquake coming to a certain extent into into a few days. You ain't predict that one thing that's gonna come and just wipe everything away. You thought you was ready for it.
Yeah.
You know?
You gotta stay on your toes. You gotta be prepared, man. For real.
Prepare for the unknown, yo.
So what you got coming up next, man? You gotta. Is it Melancholy out? Melancholy's not out, right?
Melancholy we released last week.
Okay.
We're doing a video shoot tomorrow, man.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man, I'm about to pull up.
Man, yeah, you're welcome to.
I wanted, if I could be in a Landlord two-tone music video.
Yeah, produced by Bozy T. That's
produced by Bozy T, bro.
That's as Vegas as it gets, bro.
Man, I would feel like I might retire the show, man. I might retire the show.
We'll get you a cameo on that motherfucker.
For sure, man.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, man. So you got Melancholy, and then what else? What else?
Well, me and my partner at Mad Records, man, we're doing some big things right now, bro. We're in the middle of building right now we're just running the Studio B, but we got a Studio A coming for the live bands, bro. We got a podcast studio.
Oh, okay. You gonna do your own podcast?
Think about it.
Do it.
Think about it.
Do
bro.
that shit, dog. Yeah.
There's some other things in the works too, man. That's coming pretty big. I'm not at liberty to kind of to speak about it quite yet, but it's involved some heavy hitters in the city that collectively we're working on something. So.
Are you gonna have a label? You want a label?
We have a label. Yeah.
Okay.
Mad Records.
So it is
the label.
Okay.
Well, it's a studio. Obviously, it's a studio, but we are a label that isn't signing cats yet. We kind of like.
That's what I'm asking. Like,
and that's why I'm reluctant to kind of say it because I don't want cats to feel like, oh yeah, man, it's time now. Yeah. But it's everything is in the work. It's. I don't want to speak too much, man, because I don't want to get out the bag. But it's some good shit happening, man. To where. I feel comfortable in the moves that are happening and think the pace is pretty cool. It's like everybody thinks it should be overnight and all that shit, but that's out the door, bro. That's overnight has been past for me. Now it's kind of like using what I learned and then actually having a team now. Where before I did it all by myself. You know that everything you heard about me, how I did it, was doing it by myself, and it could have been so much more had I been able to lock down with somebody, and have a team and have somebody I could lean on and all that shit.
So important, bro.
I mean, hell yeah, bro.
So important, bro.
Yeah. Trying to be the owner, the operator, the mascot, and the player.
Work.
Yeah, bro.
Doesn't work, bro. Yeah, everything takes a team. But you know what? That's the hardest thing in life to do is find the right people to have around you that believe in the vision, that work as hard as you, that are willing to sacrifice. So once you got that, you got to hold on to that shit, man.
Yeah, bro. It's hard to find. It's hard to
so
find.
Hard to
the
find.
pool of people available now is very strained, bro. It's people suck, man. And I've been one of those shitty people too, man. So I know what shitty people look like. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of them up.
It's like social media, man. I think social media is just taking over people's brains.
Yeah, man. And it's like that. And that movie that I referred to earlier, the Surrogate movie, is like that. It's exactly what it's like. It's like we create these fake versions of ourselves, and everyone is speaking to. The girl on the phone sex number, thinking they talking to a 5'2", 120-pound blonde when it's a 300-pound dude with a girl's voice with a beard.
Yeah, for real, bro.
It's like
it's the Matrix, man.
Yeah. So if we can get back to that, to where it was, then I don't know what that's worth, but it'll make it more comfortable for us, I guess. As far as the world is ever changing, man. So we can always live in that. Man, I wish it was like it used to be. But
that's pointless.
As long as you're breathing air, shit's gonna change around you.
Yeah, and you're always in control of of your own life. You have to take accountability. And I see the way social media is. Like when I see people just addicted to their phones, won't stay on their phone. I'm addicted to it too. We're all guilty.
That was the plan.
But I look at it now as a game. I'm just playing a game. It don't really got nothing to do with my real life, and I limit my time on it. But it's like, now if you got something going on, you got your studio, you got all those things going on, you got to play the game of social media. Yeah. You got to play the game.
Work the algorithm.
Exactly.
You work it.
Exactly.
But some people are doing it for the reasons of some people just need to be justified being alive, bro. Somebody just need approval.
Yeah. Validating.
Me, I'm trying to figure out how to monetize this shit, bro.
Exactly.
And I know that part is necessary, not even just to monetize, but just to be accepted by like, oh, you're not willing to show us your life? Then we're not interested. Yeah. Now it's about show us yours, I'll show you mine. And sometimes theirs is bigger than yours, and sometimes yours is way bigger than theirs, but either way, you still got to show it, and take that risk. That's part of being an artist too, man. Once you get up accept it. And I've had artists that record so much music and never put any of it out.
Why, bro?
I don't get that, but it's because they're scared.
Ooh, that's what
of the
looking
reaction.
lame.
It's like you gotta get that out. You gotta take that heat. You gotta take it, bro.
That's
part
start
of it.
Somewhere.
You have to be willing to go on the stage at Apollo and get booed the fuck off that.
Exactly, man.
You have to.
Yeah, and that I see that a lot. I'm glad you said that because I talk to a lot of different artists. I used to manage artists too, and they'll have a whole tape and then they'll just like hit the streets like networking and trying to meet everybody, and while their music's just sitting on a shelf, I'm like, bro, how are you gonna be known as an artist if you don't release the music? Like you have to. But I realized like, oh, they're not getting enough likes on their shit, and I see like, oh, they're not getting the views that they think they deserve. But like, you have to earn it. You have to start. You have to start, and you have to. Like, it's not about looking lame. First of all, you chose this life of being an artist, right? You want to do this. This is what comes with it, you know?
It's a major part of it. It's the only part that really matters. It's like baking a cake and not ever feeding to anybody.
Right. Yeah. It's like, what's the point, man?
There's no point. It's
pay your dues,
You have to do it, bro. I mean, it's good for me because, you know, as much as you record, I make some money, you know, but to never put it out but at the same time, not everybody's vision or dreams of making it is with music or as a rap. Sometimes people just do it as a hobby.
Yeah,
you know, but
true.
You know,
some people. Well, I think a lot of people just want to be famous, man. You know,
and they think it's a lot easier than it is.
Yeah. Well, you know that it's crazy because with the internet, the possibility is there.
Yeah, for one or two out of the 4 million that are trying.
That's what I say. I always tell people, mathematically speaking,
there's only one Soldier Boy.
Yeah, mathematically speaking, your chances of making it, going viral, blowing up, and having a Cardi B moment or Megan Thee Stallion moment, teeny tiny.
Well, there's just as many cell phones, if not more, for however many people there are on the planet.
Yeah.
So you got to think all those people are trying in some form or fashion to get on.
Exactly.
And so it's not just the rappers trying to get on. Now you're left with you're a rapper trying to get on amongst the violin player and the celloist and the acrobatist and the comedian and the, you know what I'm saying? It's like
fighting for attention.
So your space has been diminished even more now. Yeah. But you think it's so easy because you saw somebody that you relate to.
Yeah. Tell their story, but you're not getting their full. You're not getting.
You're not Rod Wave, bro. It's not gonna happen, bro. Yeah. Just relax. Not in that capacity. Rod Wave already happened. Be you. Do your thing.
Exactly. It can happen. His way is not gonna be your way.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
And don't depend on his methods or the way. That's the thing. Everyone's situation is exclusive to their own personal. It's just how it goes.
You gotta jump in the process, man.
Yeah, and if it's meant to be, it'll happen.
Yeah, don't put all your eggs in the basket, though. That's
all the cliches you can think of.
Yeah, man, that's shit. Because once you put all your eggs in one basket, you put too much pressure on yourself, and you're gonna self-destruct, man. Yeah. You know, like I don't need this podcast. I make money. I don't make money off this podcast. I pay for this podcast. You know what I'm saying? I lose money on this podcast.
But you know what it could be.
But I know what it could be, and I like doing it, right? But. Yeah. And that's why I can do it, because I'm not putting all my eggs in this basket. I got other shit going on. And I think that's what a lot of artists need to do, is really like have a business on the side, bro. Have a couple businesses, get your money right, and then you can create freely. It frees up your mind to create.
A lot of people have entitled themselves to the luxury of being a rapper or being an artist when their child hasn't eaten or their rent's not paid or all the number of things you could name that you could do before paying for studio time. I see it happen all the time. So it's like, first, you have to be honest with yourself and responsible enough to acknowledge that your desires aren't paramount. You know, they're desires. They're not necessities. And then work from that. And if it's meant to be based on you doing the correct ducks, putting the correct ducks in the right rows. That's the parts that come. But I think some of you think they get caught up on the visual of. Music video. This is that. This is I gotta look like that. Yeah, this is me. I'm 50 Cent now. Yeah.
I feel you, man. What kind of music you listen to? Do you listen to rap?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
you don't get burnt out on it?
Of course.
Sometimes.
I listen to a lot of talk radio. Okay. I listen to a lot of believe it or not, smooth jazz too, bro.
It's good for your soul. It's good for your brain, man.
Yeah, I play the sax too, man. So I like hearing some smooth jazz. And then I'm immature as fuck, bro. It's rap playing all the time on my shit, bro. I'm playing Lil Doug. I'm playing Lil Baby. I'm playing. You know, it's too, like you said, it's too many names, but I play the top 40 shit, bro. Okay. Because like I'm always doing homework. Plus, I grew to it. I like that shit, bro. I mean, that's the fountain of youth. You know what I'm saying? Enjoying things that are for the youth. You know?
And being able to relate to it and actually like it,
or identifying and recognizing why they do.
Exactly.
That's don't try to be the old nigga in the club. You know what I'm saying? You know, in there with your sports coat with the patches on the elbows. Hey, baby girl. Come here, baby girl.
Don't do that.
Come talk to daddy, baby.
Don't be that guy, man.
Let me get 2 old fashions, please.
Sir, this is Dre's.
Well, you get your Patron shot chilled, but you ain't got no cherries or oranges in the back.
Man, it's and times are moving fast, so it's easy to get caught up in that. You know what I'm saying? Even me, bro. I'm about to be 30. I'm like, you know, like a lot of this young shit. I have to consciously have an open mind too. I have to consciously be like, all right, don't have an opinion yet. Just give it a full chance.
It's hard when we've been brainwashed by our peers, and you know, from back in our day to, especially for me, it was like, tight jeans would never have been like, what the hell, bro? Right. Now it's like, if your jeans is baggy, what the hell, bro?
What the fuck are you doing, man?
But it's over time. That's just the law of rebellion of each generation. That's how that happens.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy you listen to so much rap being in it, because, you know, I love rap music and all that, but sometimes my brain needs a fucking breath of fresh air where I got to put on some just R&B, some old school Al Green or something, and just relax and just take a whole day. Because when I do that and then I come back to the hip hop and the rap, and it's like, okay, now I can really enjoy it. But I get burnt the fuck out, man. Yeah. I get burnt out.
You know, sometimes I'll even forget to turn on the radio, bro. I mean, after being in the studio 8-10 hours, you know, sometimes you just want silence. Sometimes I'll forget that I'm in the car. I'll be in the middle of on a spaghetti bowl, like, what the fuck? Oh shit, turn on something. You know? But my new shit though, and don't try this at home, but putting on Netflix while I'm driving, bro, and just letting movies play while I'm, you know, especially on the series. That's all, you know, most, because sometimes I get to the house and just fall out, bro. Right. Sleepy, you know, and golf. I don't have a lot of time for TV, so I just catch it audibly on the road.
Right, so that's dope.
You know,
that's dope.
But if I'm listening to music, it's gonna be rapper or some old school R&B or some jazz.
Yeah, that's dope. I like to listen to movie soundtracks. That's my favorite.
Okay, so what kind of movies soundtrack?
Like the GOAT, Scarface. You know what I'm saying? Goodfellas.
I thought you was going to say like Star Wars. Like you just like to listen to.
But I do love Star Wars, bro. Okay. I'm a Star Wars and Harry Potter nerd, bro.
For real?
Oh, big time. Okay. Big time. I'm about to get a Harry Potter tattoo, man. That's how I really fell in love with reading. I love to read.
Harry Potter? My son too. My son was reading Harry Potter at 5 years old.
It took my fucking brain to another world. It was escapism at a young age, and I was so engulfed. And it's like how kids will hold an iPad now. I used to hold that book like that.
For real.
I used to have them, the whole series, man. Loved it.
My oldest son is into books like that, bro.
Good.
I was never much of a reader, bro. I can read like a motherfucker, but I just couldn't bring myself to.
You have to find what you're really into.
He looked down the street and tore the pages as he enveloped his life, surrounded with good tidings and joy. Next page. Yes. As Willis trotted down, I can't do it, bro.
Yeah, I feel you. Some books, I get thrown out. Right? I throw them out.
Yeah.
But Harry Potter was like it, because it's escapism. I just love the idea of the creativity and people being able to really go in depth and creating a whole new world. Yeah. And, you know, I get clowned on because a lot of my homies, you know, they're street, you know, they're from the streets, so. When I say, you know, I'm into Harry Potter, they're like, you know, they clown me. They're not into that kind of shit, but
because like, it's not on the beat. Now, but I'm like, in the studio, you're doing the same thing. You're writing the story. It's the same shit.
Exactly. And you know, you like Star Wars. I can appreciate just this person just came up with fucking the names of these planets and these characters and these creatures.
It's intense.
It's intense, and the creativity.
We really think about that. Even just making even putting together this podcast, all the things that it takes. You got to think all the things it takes to do that. So
little intricacies.
On a level like that, you really respect it.
Respect it on a major level. Yeah, man. But that's dope that your son is into reading, man.
Oh yeah, he loves that shit.
Feed that. Feed that. Yeah.
And video games horribly too, though. It's to a fault. But it's the future.
Yeah.
You know. So I wouldn't say deny your kids totally of video games, bro. Cause
no, absolutely not. No.
The future is gonna be based on how the kids are being taught now.
Just limit the time. Make sure they get outside and get dirty and they scrape up their knee and shit. It's important.
Or you can have some weirdos.
You're gonna have some weird ass little kids, man. Yep. It's gonna have. When they're gonna grow up.
You got kids yet?
Hell no.
Okay. Oh, you enjoying it?
No. I got a niece and nephew, and that's been my
birth control.
Birth control for sure.
Yeah.
You know, and I never wanted to. I grew up around baby mama drama, so I never wanted that for myself. I'm like, yo, I've had enough of that. So it's really about finding the right person to have the kids with, that I can have the family unit with.
Yeah.
And you know, as a man, like my dad, he's like 55. He just had a newborn baby. Yeah,
started over.
His new wife is a little bit younger, you know, which is cool. But it just made me realize, like, okay, as a man, I'm not in no rush. Women be in a rush, right? Because their bodies, you know,
biological clock ticking.
Exactly. But me, I'm cool. I'm chilling.
Yeah, take your time with that shit.
Chilling. Bro. You know what I'm saying? I need a crib first. I need a crib. You know, the regular shit.
I mean, sometimes you're gonna have to pull the trigger if you want them. There's gonna be a time where you have to pull the trigger.
Well,
if you keep planning based on, I need to do this, and you're gonna be like Steve Martin in the Jerk. All I need is this lamp, and that's all I need. I don't need anything else.
Nah, for real. And I've been going back and forth with that. It's like, I don't want to be an old dad. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able
60 at graduation.
Man, I don't want to do that. And so, you know, but for me, it's just about, you know, the girl. And it's tough out here in Vegas, man. It's tough out here. I don't know who's working and who's not these days, man. You know,
man, I was blessed enough to not have to worry about that kind of shit with my children's mother. But yeah, man, the pool is definitely.
Or you know, because my past girlfriends, they've been like, they might not even have social media. I've only been in 3 relationships in my life, and they're not. They worked at the library. They have a job. They're super regular, have no interest in social media. So a lot of girls that I meet, you know, if they're not working, they're fucking showing their ass on Instagram, and I'm like, that's cool, but I mean, I'm not bringing you home to meet my mom.
It's not your bad. Yeah, that's the thing, man. It's ironic that a lot of women are doing this to garner attention from the same men that they want to avoid and claim, why are you coming to me like this? I get it. It's the same way men pose shirtless on the beach. It's like, they're like, this is my body. I can do what I want with it. It doesn't mean that you can just touch me or have your way with me. But also understanding how most men's mind work, it's kind of like dangling candy in front of a kid, and they go to grab it and like, what? You can't have this candy.
Right.
No.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
So the less mature men will, you know, hang themselves with that same candy. You know what I'm saying? It's fucked up. But if you recognize what that is like, look, they're doing what they want because they can. It doesn't mean you can have it.
Exactly. And I don't care what a woman does. You do whatever you want, but you know, I'm gonna treat you how you treat yourself. Pretty much. So if you're on the gram talking or showing nipples and ass and titties and this and that, I mean, that's cool.
I'm either gonna look or unfriend you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all.
Yo, I unfollowed a lot of girls, man. I unfollowed on Instagram. I don't really follow too many. If I know the girls on my followers, then I mean, if I follow you, I probably know you as a woman. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but for I used to follow all the Instagram models and shit. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I like being numb. I'm like getting numb to it almost.
It's desensitized. That's what I was saying earlier. It's like the same things. Like, yeah, man, they don't do it for me like you used to. You know what I'm saying? But look, man, it's the new weird world we in, man. And it's like, I hope I can get used to it in a way that I can still enjoy it and not be a weirdo around it. But I think it's hard to get. It's hard when you know what the shit's worth, though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's the one thing about getting older around young cats is that you know the value of what they think is so expensive. It's like the value of that you're gonna find out. And then of course you get tired of seeing that too, where man, you was right, OG, when you told me 10 years ago this. I know, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I told you so, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think it's all. I think this is the first step into robot sex. I'm gonna keep it real.
Yeah.
I think it's the first step.
It's happening, bro.
It's already happening.
Yeah, it's happening right now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but with the way it happened on AI. Remember that movie AI?
With Will Smith? No.
Nah, the little white kid. He was a robot, and then his little teddy bear kept some of his mama's hair, and then the aliens came and got him. He was able to remake his mom and all that shit.
Okay.
But they had these robots. They were androids. They looked just like real people, and they meet up with you to have sex. They were like prostitutes, but they were
real.
Picture perfect people. Looked everything, felt real, but they can make their dick bigger, titties bigger, like whatever they wanted.
I gotta watch this movie.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy because it's like a damn near a kids movie, but for adults.
Scary, bro. Scary.
That's where it's at, man. I mean, you have remote control vibrators now and shit, or with music on it now. I mean, that's all kind of shit, man. To make. But you kind of have to, bro, because sex has been you've been so desensitized to the things that normally used to turn you on.
Yeah, it's like
you need that extra.
You need that extra weird shit, man. Do you watch? What is it? Black Mirror? Is it Black Mirror?
Yeah, oh yeah, of course.
Man, I've seen some episodes in there, bro.
Some crazy shit, bro.
Man, the one thing the dudes they got in the video game and they started like having sex with
each other.
Yeah,
as women though.
No, it was
one was a woman.
One was a woman. One was a
dude.
man, and they were homies. And then they ended up being attracted to each other in the video
and went back for each other.
Yeah,
and now they would cheat on their.
Yeah, they were married and shit.
You'll get your motherfucker ass.
But that's coming, bro. That type of shit is happening, bro.
It's happening now. What you mean? Bro. That's bro. It's happening, bro.
It just makes me want to unplug and go. And I'm about to move on in 2 weeks. I'm moving on to a ranch. I'm about to be a ranch hand.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So but it's like that's what I want to do. Like I want to be disconnected from
off
like,
the grid like a motherfucker.
I want to be able to come in the grid and and connect. You know what I'm saying? But I have to be.
That's the only way you're gonna stay sane, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it's like I just want to be a human. I don't want to be too integrated with the technology to where it's like it runs my life and I don't know what to do without it.
Now that has to be a luxury you afford yourself because they have it set up to where they have direct access to you in the way they need you.
Exactly.
So now you have to put yourself in a position to hire an assistant that does all your phone calls and does all your shit. Otherwise, it's unavoidable.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it too is getting rid of the feeling of FOMO. Fear of missing out. Everybody.
Since a kid going to sleep at a bedtime when adults were partying downstairs.
Exactly. And I think that's a big thing why we're on our phones all the time. We don't want to miss out on anything. We want to see, who's doing what, this and that. But, when you disconnect for your, I like to, I go on hikes and shit. And when I go out of town, I got an out of town phone or no social media on it. And you don't miss out on nothing, man. You ain't missing out on nothing.
But do you feel yourself going to look for the app?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it just takes like a couple hours, a couple times where I have to remind myself because I'll just catch myself just reaching for my phone. I
do the same thing, bro. I just randomly going for my phone. Yeah. I'll be walking through that. What? You just checked it 30 seconds ago. Nothing new came through,
Nothing, bro. It's scary when you think about it, and it's also just sad because the whole world is doing the same thing we're doing.
So that's why we're taking advantage of that, making podcasts and making music.
Exactly.
Because we know they're gonna be looking.
Yeah, exactly.
So monetize that shit. That's
for
the
real.
way to do that.
That's the way to do it,
yeah,
man.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this up, man. This was a great fucking. I'm so humbled, and I appreciate you so much.
Appreciate you having me, bro.
Yeah, man. My door's always open. However, I can help with Mad Records. You know what I'm saying?
Right on, man.
If you need a manager, don't call me. Okay, I ain't babysitting nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and follow me at Tone Does Music, man. If you want to get at me, man, and follow Mad Records too, man. Mad Records LV.
Yes, sir. The legend. Till next time, bro.
Right on, brother.
Peace.
It's the E Squared Podcast. Big.